Lead, don't follow. That has always been their motto. Kawasaki has always been at the front of the pack when it comes to innovation and pushing the market forward when it comes to motorcycles. So it comes as no surprise then that their plans for a hydrogen-fueled future are progressing quickly. And Australia is already becoming a part of that. Recently, over the past few weeks, we have seen the Japanese giant filing for new trademarks for the title Hi SE, and a logo that looks like a water droplet on two wheels. They themselves have been quite open with their future plans, having released videos of potential designs and with their plans for electric and hydrogen-fueled motorcycles. But it seems like now that the COVID pandemic era is coming to an end, those plans are starting to progress a lot faster. In terms of the Kawasaki conglomerate as a whole, motorcycles are actually a very small part of the picture. Kawasaki Heavy Industries covers heavy equipment, aerospace, defense equipment, railway rolling stock, and even shipping. And in all of these segments, the development of future fueling strategies are definitely underway. In fact, last year, Kawasaki used a shipment of hydrogen fuel from here in Australia to use in a demonstration of electricity power generation back in their home of Japan. They've even got a joint $500 million pilot project with Toyota that's backed by both the Japanese and Australian governments to develop hydrogen engines. So I guess it won't just be their paint schemes that are green anymore, because we know for sure that electric and hydrogen-based Kawasaki's are on the way. They actually showed their first prototype back in 2021, which was a direct fuel-injected version of the Ninja H2's supercharged 4-cylinder engine. It was a great candidate for the conversion because with the way that hydrogen works, much more of the fuel is needed to get the same amount of power as petrol. And that means bigger engines and bigger tanks. If we look at the prototype models that they showed off around 6 months ago, we can see that the fuel system storage that they appear to be using is similar to what Toyota created for their hydrogen-fueled infrastructure. Only here, the swappable canisters are located in the panniers of the bike as reservoirs. We also know that Yamaha are dipping their toes into the water of hydrogen-based bikes as well, with them using the same type of canisters from Toyota. So really what it will look like is swappable canisters that are loaded into the bike to be used as fuel. But it would mean that the supply and infrastructure around hydrogen would need to be built out. And I can't help but wonder if it would just be easier to adapt it to the already growing infrastructure for the growing electric car market. That market is growing exponentially, and why not just adapt it for that? It is clear that Kawasaki is working on electric motorcycles as well, but they do seem to be going full steam ahead with the hydrogen. Other motorcycle manufacturers are already pretty well advanced with electric motorcycles. Harley-Davidson having the sporty Livewire. There's currently an Australian brand called Savic, which are crowdfunding their new electric bike here on home ground. And even Ducati's role in this season's Moto E class is a big indicator that we'll be seeing some new stuff from them soon too. So the question is, would you buy one? As with all technologies, things will get better, faster, and cheaper over time. But we know for sure that we will start to see some electric and possibly hydrogen-based bikes coming soon from the Big Four. To be honest, when it comes to hydrogen-based bikes, I myself am still unsure about it. While I'm of course open to the idea and would love to see some new hybrid bikes, I'm just not sold on the idea of interchangeable tanks that go into the bike. And I have some questions. Mainly, what are the specs and numbers going to look like? Are these bikes going to have the same sort of power? Will they be super bulky and heavy with all those fuel cells, and how practical are they? And of course, can they make them as fun as the regular petrol powered? I do, however, like the electric side of things, which is a surprise. My initial reaction to the idea of electric motorcycles was, nah, it just won't be the same. And you're getting rid of the best part, the roar and rev of the engine. But I've been around electric bikes now. I've seen them, I've heard them. And honestly, just like electric cars, I think they've got their own appeal. The wisp and the winding up of the electric motors, and of course the instant power. Of course, I don't think they'll ever fully replace the petrol-fueled internal combustion engine, but I do think they'll be a much bigger part of the motorcycle world going forward. It's an interesting time to be a bike fan because there's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. But I want to know what you think about it. Let's have a chat about it down in the comments below and let me know if you would ever buy a hydrogen-based bike. We know that they're coming, but it's something that we've yet to see if it'll be around forever or not, or if it'll start to slowly catch on and become a big part of society like the electric car has. But thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, see ya. We got the helicopters going again. Love it. Last year, Kawasaki used a shipment of hydrogen. In fact, last year, I don't have birds anymore, I have helicopters. I don't know what's worse, to be honest. It is 9 p.m. at night. In fact, last year Kawasaki used a shipment of hydrogen. Why is it so hard to say the word hydrogen? Hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. I just sound like I'm simple when I'm saying it. Hydrogen. Only here, the swappable canisters. Why is that hard to say? Swappable canisters. Swappable canisters. Only here, the swappable canisters are located in the panniers of the bike as That is a freaking hard sentence to say. God, that one was painful. Fucking helicopters. Doing my head in.